everyone. Thank you everyone for coming. Appreciate your time. Thank you, Dr. Jimmy, for having me once again. It was a pleasure the last time, and I hope it's going to be enjoyable again. So today we'll be talking about how to apply to master's sports science program in the United States. I just wanted to say shortly that um, okay, let me just share my screen. If I can share it. Do you know why this is not coming up? Okay. Okay, cool. So I just wanted to say that this can also apply to people that want to apply for PhD programs, right? If you want to apply for, because the reason why I said that is I do understand some people who apply to PhD. I know someone I think applied directly from Nigeria from after finishing bachelor's to PhD. But I understand we are in the scope of masters, just putting it out there. So yeah, now let's get into it. Now I have a lot of things to actually discuss, so I'm going to try to be a little bit fast because I want to share some stuff for you guys that I use during my own application that I feel might be helpful. There are some of my personal stuff, but I don't mind sharing them. Um, so this is the content. Now we are going to talk about the different sports science MS programs, and I mean, some people do it as sports science, some exercise science, some sport physiology. All the names. It doesn't really matter. Now, how do you research programs and their requirements? I want to talk about networking because networking is also very very key for this process. Then the application material, I think, is very very vital. This is where I'm going to spend most of the time, this application material and how you can go about seeking financial aid. So for this now researching program, I think it is very very important to look at programs that are aligned with your interest. I used to use myself as an example. The first school I went to in the US was exercise physiology, which I realized was more clinically oriented. I was not really getting the opportunity to work with athletes, and I wanted to work with athletes. So you have to know what you want and what you're looking for because some programs are just kind of hospital-based exercise science or sports science program, while some are majorly, sports performance or athlete-based. While some trying to infuse both of them. So you have to know what you want, your immediate and long-term career goals, and how that those programs suit what you want. If you want a program, for example, that is athlete based, you have to look at a program that have, NCAA, NEIA. Most of the programs do have, and where most of their students work with this athlete. So that's one thing that's very, very important. Now, how do you get information? Um, University site obviously is one of the best. Google is your best friend, like they always say. Google is a very, very important. You can just type sports science in the United States, sports science in Texas, sports science in Ohio, sports science in New York, anything, or exercise science. Just use those buzzwords differently, anything, and then you get what you want. Then you can also attend academic forums just like this one, where we give you information about how to go about the application. Conferences, any NACA and NCAA conference, ACSM, that's American College of Sports Medicine. You can get some of this information. You can apply, you can attend some of these conferences now virtually. Since COVID, they have options for virtual meeting, which I think is great for people to join. Now, you want to share the requirement and eligibility. This is very, very important, especially for those of us that are, coming from Nigeria, African countries, and all of that, because some of these programs want you to have English proficiency. Of course, this is unfortunate because all of us are proficient in English, but they still want you to do maybe TOEFL, maybe IELTS, maybe GRE. My first school wanted me to do GRE, TOEFL, and all of that. My second school, they don't even care about that. So you can do some of those exams, but honestly, you necessarily don't need to do if you don't want to. There are programs that we waive it for you. There are programs that will tell you if you are from Nigeria, they can waive it for you. There are some programs that say, if English was your first language, is the language which you use for your bachelor, then you don't need to. So these are some of the things you need to pay attention to. And you want to know if you're eligible for this program. Some of them want you to have a certain CGPA. Most programs, CGPA of 3.0/4 is important. And of course, you must know that the way Americans do their own scoring system, their own grade system is a little bit different from us. So you have to also find a way to um, convert your scores or convert your GP to the American standard. I believe most of us are conversant with that. Through we have places like West, like EC that can help you to convert your result. So, but if you have a good grade in Nigeria, I mean, most likely the grade will also transform to a qualified grade in the United States. So, also you can reach out to people that are in the US. They can give you an idea of what the grade is going to look like, even before you do the credential evaluation. There are some special consideration which again I feel it is so important for us to know. Now there are some programs that literally waive application fee. I know it is $50, which might not seem much, but I think my perspective about some of these things is that if you can save money, then save money. So you want to look out for some programs. Some programs will tell you that they waive application fee. Some will waive for people from low income countries. Like I was going to attend a conference in September. The conference is I think $1,100. I was almost applying for that conference, and lo and behold, I just saw in a certain place where they wrote uh, there are some different prices for some countries, and they put low income countries there. And I think it was $380. So I'm going to be saving more than $700. And I click and I saw Nigeria, and of course I'm a Nigerian. So you want to look at some of these things to also help yourself. Um, the networking now very important. One thing that I did back then, which really helped me, is that sometimes I reach out to the student of the university and also the student of those programs. They can be very, very. Most people are helpful. I know that for the fact. If you reach out to them, they will be helpful. If you reach out to someone like me, people like Dr. Jimmy will always be helpful to you. Then you want to reach out to some of the alumni also, they will usually be helpful. Now, social media is a powerful tool, like we all know. Most of these universities, they have their social media handle. You can follow them. You can, through their social media, you can check up their
Recording in
students.
progress.
You can check out their school curriculum and everything, and then you can get a lot of information through social media. Very, very important. Now, what are the different sports science programs you can apply to? Like I said, it comes in various forms. Some school offer it as sports science, some exercise science, some physiology, some kinesiology, some S&C, sport nutrition, sports psychology, sports performance. I start sport performance because in the US, from what I know, most sports performance are offered in PhD level, but some still offered it in master's degree level. So you want to keep an eye on that. Then sport management, which is technically not under the purview of sports science, but sometimes you might be doing internship in sports management, especially if you want to go to advocacy side of things, which is a very lucrative part of the industry. Now let's go into the application material, which is very, very, very important. Obviously, academic transcript is important. I mentioned this briefly before. You want to make sure your transcript is evaluated by WES or ECE. ECE is Education Credential Evaluation. WES is Western Education something. I can't remember the full name now, but I think most of us know WES. Now, it is very, very important that you pay attention to some of these schools. Some of them want West, some of them want ECE. Most want West, but a few of them will tell you they don't accept West, they want ECE. So you don't want to pay money in West because I know it's a lot of dollars, and especially if you're applying from Nigeria where the dollar rate is not favorable right now. Please do your due diligence to know what kind of credential evaluation do they accept. Resume is very, very important. Your resume should show passion and commitment to sports science. As simple as that. Your resume should show voluntary and community service that you've done. Like I was talking last week, that if you are doing something in your church, let's say you are organizing 50-meter run for our daddies and for the elderly people, you can put it there. If you have any specific skills like swimming, like boxing, like cycling, they love it. Make sure you put it on your resume, you know. But most importantly, let your resume depict that you've been committed to sports science, in whatever form. My resume then, I remember I tailored it to be cashy for sports science. I mean, everything is not going to be sports science in your resume, obviously, but let the introduction shows that that is what you are focusing on. I'm going to show you an example of my resume that I used back in the day. It looks scrappy, but it's helpful because this resume I developed, it was it 2016 or something, and this was the resume that I used to get a GA at the US Olympic Center. So you don't have to be perfect. That's what I tell people. Um, Now, this was the resume I used. As simple as it is. You see, it's even a Versat. Um, so, but one thing is, it's caching, right? Can you guys see my screen? Because I changed my screen. I hope it's showing. Um,
It's not showing yet.
oh, okay. Like, can you see the resume page I'm showing?
Yes.
Okay, okay.
Yeah, consider
So
resume page.
now, if you see, of course, I'm a medical doctor, but I don't just want to give them only the medical doctor thing, right? I want to show them that I've been involved in sports, if that makes sense. So you see, strong interest in sports medicine and kinesiology research program demonstrated by over 3 years work and voluntary experience in physical and athletic training, sport, and clinical medicine. Now, this already encompasses the fact that although I'm a medical doctor, I'm interested in sports science, sports
Hello,
medicine.
Dr. Aguda. We can't see the stuff you're sharing. Are you trying to share your
Oh, I thought you
statement
said
of
it was.
purpose?
I
Yeah.
was saying my resume.
Okay. I thought you were sharing another screen.
No, no, no. It's still the resume. I'm
Okay,
still going
all
to
right.
share that the center purpose too. So you see, this resume it just kind of captures sports medicine. Can you see the buzzwords? You have to know how to use those buzzwords. Look at this: sports medicine, kinesiology, voluntary experience, physical and athletic training, sport and clinical medicine. That is a good catch, Of course, this is 2016. If I'm writing something like it will be better, obviously, but you get the idea of everything. Now, if you go through my resume, there are some other medical stuff. Look at it, assistant surgeon in major sport and orthopedic injuries, right? So you just want to give them an idea of what you're doing. Radiological and clinical assessment of basic injury. This is still like sport related. And I was working with Sunshine Side of Akure at one point, and I had to put it, even if I spent just a little time with them. So I had to put it. I was working with Sunshine as FC of Akure as a medical officer, and as the assistant physical trainer and fitness counselor. So the whole point is that you want to put yourself in a line that depicts what you're applying for. SOP is another very, very important aspect of the application. In fact, for me, SOP is like probably the most important part, right? Because the SOP, they usually have a standard for your SOP. One, please and please don't go beyond the standard. If you tell you they want only 1,000 words, 1,000 words. If you tell you they want four paragraph, right? Some of them will tell you what to put in the SOP. They will tell us what motivated you, what you are doing to achieve your goal, and then your future plan. So usually, your SOP usually covers your journey, your motivation, and then your career plans, and how those motivation can help you in your master degree program, and then your career plan. Right? So those are some of the things you have to put in your SOP. You know,
Hmm.
I'm going to spend a little bit of time on this SOP because I think that's like one of the most important part of the application. Let me see if I can increase this stuff. Okay, so that's I really want us to see the SOP. I can make it available to you guys. That's not a problem. But let me just show you something. So can you see this, right? I want to make sure you guys are seeing it. Can you guys see? Dr. Jimmy, can you see this? The SOP?
Yeah, it says, are you trying to share your own SOP or still on the slide?
We
No,
can't
my
see
own
the
SOP.
SOP. We can't see it. So.
We can't see it.
Oh, okay. Hold on. Let me know. I'm surprised. Let me stop sharing and share again. Um, so let me share my entire screen. Why is it not giving me the option to share it?
I think you can share now. Okay.
I want to share my entire screen, but it's not giving me the option when I click it. But anyway, let me share window then I'll go back to the next window when I'm done. You guys should be able to see it now, right?
Yeah.
Right?
Yes, we can see.
Okay, so now when you want to write your SOP, you what they and this generally goes for anything, but of course we're going to stay within the concept of sports science here. You want to give them a story, usually a real story, you know, that shows that shows what motivated you to want to go into sports science. Because anybody can want to go, but you have to be able to create usually a real story of what happened, and now that story is now fueling your motivation, fueling your drive, and now you can be able to fit into the master degree program. And after that, even if you finish the master degree program, how you are able to help the industry. You know, so if you see my SOP, like I just wrote out the story, education is important, blah blah blah. Now, look, I wrote something here back in my secondary days. My childhood was the best in sprint, and he was still to become a successful athlete. But during on a fateful day, he fell down, you know, and then he had a ankle dislocation or something. And but we couldn't get a way to get him to hospital to do fitness training for him, and because of that, he could not achieve his dream of becoming an athlete. And so that makes sense that this kind of now make me realize that if this guy had a fitness program, if he had a good sports scientist that was working on his fitness, that injury might have been prevented, right? And then I went ahead to talk about how that motivated me to now start working, to start doing things in sports science, like attended the Nuga Games when I was still in Nigeria in 2014 as a member of the Red Cross Society. I was the sports director in my school in OAU back then. I had to put it there. These are some of the things that I've done that shows that I've been involved in sports, right? So then you see from this top paragraph, I now moved away from how I'm able to do that to how I'm going to use those experience to fit into the program. And this is what I did here. That consequently, I have chosen my career in the field of sports science through program of kinesiology, all of those stuff. And then after meticulous consideration and consultation, I'm deciding to enroll at East Tennessee State University because of its excellent program, diversity, and research work, and is ranked as one of the top public universities in the United States. So my real story, what I've been doing so far, and how all those things will propel me to do my master's at that university. So that's just how the SOP goes, basically. This is one of the in fact, most of the time when they decide to give you admission, your SOP is one of the top things that determines your admission. Okay, so I'm going to close that. Let me try and share another. Let me go back to the page I'm sharing. Um, okay. My share button today is a bit scrappy, so I'm just sharing window by window um, instead of sharing my screen. Okay, so that's how to do your SOP. Now, LOR is very important. Your letter of recommendation. Make sure that your letter of recommendation usually comes from people who are notable, people who are of repute. It doesn't have to be an emeritus. It doesn't have to be it can be an head of department, a professor. An MD is a medical doctor can write an LOR for you. I've written LOR for a couple of people actually, and any top professional in the field can write a letter of recommendation for you. People that are of repute, that's very, very important. Now let's go to financial aid, which is important because when I left Nigeria in 2017, it was difficult even to pay American dollars in thousands. Now I imagine what it must be. So I feel like tuition, scholarship, getting funding is very, very important for us. Now, I don't know if you guys know the difference between tuition scholarship and guide assistantship, but I'm just going to go ahead and just explain. Now, tuition scholarship is when they just give you a scholarship, right? It can be 50%, it can be 80%, it can be 100%. Now, those tuition scholarship, You don't get paid for anything. They just give you tuition scholarship. They just cover your tuition. That's it. Now, guided assistantship is a little bit better than tuition scholarship, and this is the reason. In as a guided assistant, they pay your school fees and they also give you some stipend. Now, some schools will give you tuition scholarship and your second year you can change it to guided assistantship. And that's exactly what happened to me. When I joined with tuition scholarship because I was not able to get a guided assistantship. But after a while, I changed to a guided assistantship position. So from the first year, they were just paying my school fees, but from second year, they were pay my school fees and pay me some couple of money. I think up to $1,000, which was able to cover most of my expenses at that time. So those are the difference between tuition scholarship and guided assistantship, and you basically apply for them in the same way. You know, I'm going to explain in more details how you can apply for this program. Now, these are the financial aid packet. I think I want to write pack. This is the pack for the financial aid. How do you go about it in details? Now, when you are doing your application, usually there's going to be a part in the application form that says that do you want financial assistance or do you want funding or do you want grant assistantship? Now, back in the day, I remember a lot of people used to say once you say you want financial assistance, they will not get admission. Or once you say you want financial aid and it's on your document that you want financial aid that they will deny you. That's not true. Even Americans collect what we call FAFSA. Nobody has, and only few people in the world that has $30,000, $40,000 stored somewhere. So please and please, when you are when you are clicking your form and they're asking you if you want, say yes with your chest. You want financial aid, that's fine. Number two, make sure you apply as early as possible. Okay, it is very, very sacrosanct that you apply as early as possible. And this is the reason. A lot of programs are so busy, they just give those aid on a first come, first served basis. As long as you qualify, obviously, not because you just apply first come, they give you no. If you do qualify and if you apply early, some of them can say, you know what, we are giving the first 10 people, we are giving the first five people. That's it. And they will just give you. So it is always better for you to apply well ahead of time and signify your interest. Now, what are some of the things you need to do for you to stand out in finance to get this financial aid? One of the most important thing is contacting the program. And how do you do that? You contact them usually by the program supervisors. Again, when you go to the school website, you will see the department, and then you can see the program supervisors on that department, or sometimes the HOD, or sometimes they call them department chair. Now, when you contact them, don't just tell them that look, I want financial aid. You have to be interesting. You have to be creative. You message them and say, hello, my name is Kayode. I'm a director of medicine from Nigeria and I want to apply. I go into your programs and I realize you have a strength and conditioning training program, which is very interesting. I'm involved in strength and conditioning training. You sell yourself to them. Sometimes you might go through research process. Some of these people are doing research. Go online, read about their research. When you send them an email, mention just few things in their research that can pick their point. And then usually they are interested in that. Because think about it. These people receive hundreds of emails in a day. Hundreds. A lot of time their emails get lost. They don't even know that you are sending an email. So you want to make sure your email is very catchy, make it brief. Don't try to, I understand we say sell yourself, but don't write 2 pages. They're not going to read it. Let it be very, very brief. You understand? Go straight to the point of what you want. Talk good about their program. Talk about the fact that, oh, you know somebody that went to their program. And then that's it. There was a lady that applied to my school, and I think she applied for PhD. And at TTSU, and my program supervisor sent me an email that this person is a Nigerian, that I should please tell her more about the program. And then she got the PhD just because she contacted the program and she told them that she knows somebody that finished from the program. And she got the PhD from bachelor to PhD directly. So they are very nice people. Usually they are nice. They are not, they don't really, once you show quality and once you show that you have something to offer the program, they will usually give you their time. and then explain what you can do for their students. Okay. So for example, when I got my GA, I got my GA. I didn't even get my GA in my department, sports science. I got my GA in biomedical engineering, and I'm still going to talk about how you can get GA in other departments. So when I applied to those programs, the man told me that you're a medical doctor and you're a sports science. Why should we give you tuition scholarship or GA in engineering department? It doesn't make sense, right? And but because I researched their program and I told the man, look, you guys have a biomedical engineering department. That means you are biomedical science or biomedical engineering student. That's where I come in. I can teach your students, how to measure blood pressure, how to monitor O2 saturation pump, how to take PO2, and I can help you set up some of your medical equipment. And he was so impressed. And that's how I got my tuition scholarship in Department of Engineering. So you have to be creative. You have to show them what you bring to the table. That's how it works in the US. Once you show them what you bring, they're going usually they will be positive towards you, except they do not have. Even when they don't have, they will tell you that they don't have, but they will let you know when they do have. You know. Now, always have a template ready of your application process. That's one thing that I did. I have a template email that I sent to all those professors. I just kind of, remove some of those words. Then a cover letter is so important. Cover letter is very, very important in the context of application for a GA or for a tuition scholarship. Very, very important. Now, I'm going to show you an example of a cover letter. It's just a brief example um, of how you can have prepare your let me see. I have some issue to deal with sharing my screen, so I'm only able to share window. Just bear with me. So now, because I wanted you guys to get context of this thing. Okay, now, so this is the cover letter. I hope it's coming up now. Can you guys see it? Hello?
Yes, we can see it.
We can see
Good.
it now.
Just wanted to make sure. Now look at the cover letter here. One page, right? Simple. One page. You don't need to do too much. Your name, your email, and maybe the date. You can have the address if you want, but for me, I don't think the address is important. Just write your name, put your email, and then address it. Usually you address to the department, or you can address it to the head of department or to the program director. Look at it. So this person is I just wrote it. This is the name of the chairman at the at my department back in the day. So I wrote this to her. You see, the Department of Kinesiology, Sport and Recreation, Graduate Assistant position. So I'm writing to apply for position of GA, blah blah blah. With over 4 years of experience in sports science, I've acquired the skills and techniques needed to impart, whatever. So here are some of the highlights of my resume. A bachelor degree in medicine and surgery from Nigeria's number one ranked university. Any university you went to Nigeria, just put it Nigeria top ranked. It's not anybody's business. It's top ranked, it's top ranked. Work experience in my hometown football club as a team physician and assistant physician trainer. Excellent communication skills, human and time management, experience in assisting lecturers, consultant preparing examination result grading. Because as a GA, one of the things you'll be doing as a GA is that you are literally an assistant lecturer or as a TS. When I was a GA, I was teaching the undergraduates, I was taking some of the classes for the undergraduates. So they want somebody that can take the load off them. If you are a professor, who do you want to take? You want to take somebody that is comfortable standing in front of other people, standing in front of students that can teach them clearly, that can explain things gently, because most of those undergraduates are 19, 20, 21. So you need to be able to know how to talk and how to relate to some of these teenagers, right? So I'm telling them I have an experience in assisting lecturers, in grading results, in research work. Then I told them I'm part of Red Cross Society, APIN, AIDS Prevention Initiative in Nigeria, and other WHO affiliated bodies. This shows that I have been applying myself in various aspects of health and various aspects of life, which shows some level of responsibility. So and then I close it up by saying that I have an experience that will be of benefit as a graduate assistant. I'm enthusiastic about the opportunity to offer my input while also learning various elements of academic and human values in your institution. Thanks for your assessment of application, all of that. So that's how you write a cover letter for a G. Now, once it is a graduate assistant position, all you have to do is just to, just put if tuition scholarship. That's it. Read tuition assistant or tuition scholarship, whatever. Something like that. Just send it. Now, if you want to apply to another department, all you have to do again is to remove this and put another department, right? Now, if I am applying, this application is for Department of Kinesiology. Let's say I'm applying to Department of Nursing. I might have to twist this around a bit to show that I can help nursing department, right? If I'm applying to biomedical engineering, I can also tailor it to fit biomedical engineering. Wherever you are applying to should be able to mirror that you're able to help them. Okay. Now let's sorry for this. My screen today is just one of these I had coming up. Okay, so those are the way to do it. And then about the email template, there's a way you have to write your email also. I mean, it doesn't matter. You just start practicing and then you get better at writing email. Once you have a template of your email, I suggest that you keep it somewhere. You just copy it, put it on the email, change a few words, and go to their program. Pick things that are specific about their program and put it on the email so that it doesn't look so generic. Now, I already covered this. One mistake that a lot of us used to make back in the day is to think that when we apply to sports science masters that we can only get scholarship in sports science. That is not true, because sometimes these GA and these TS positions are limited. And I must be frank with you, it's not easy sometimes as a foreigner to get some of these things, right? So look beyond sports science. When I did my application, I went to my department and they told me that unfortunately they have, but it's finished for whoever they want to give it to. That's when I started applying. I applied to biomedical engineering. I applied to nursing. I think I applied to computer science. I applied to education department. I applied to about 15 places. I applied to parking department because there's a parking department in the school that there's an office you will stay, and then anybody that has a car that wants to get a tag on their car, you give them the parking tag. That is another scholarship on its own. So look outside and expand your scope beyond sports science now when you want to get those scholarship. Now, in some schools, they have some other form of scholarship as well. For example, they have what they call multicultural scholarship. Multicultural scholarship is usually given to students of diverse ethnicity, maybe African Americans, Africans, and all of that. In fact, my school then they have this multicultural religious scholarship, whereby if you can sing and join the school choir, they cover 75% of your tuition. So if your tuition is $16,000, that means they cover $12,000 of that 16,000. I applied for that scholarship also, and I got it, but it was 75%. Just because you can sing, they can give you scholarship to go to school. That's one beautiful thing about this country. So look around and apply beyond sports science. Of course, you start from your sports science. Now, there are some scholarship also that are provided by some of these top athletic organizations. ACSM, NSCA, they have some form of scholarship, but those scholarship is usually difficult for people like me and you. Most of those scholarships are usually granted to maybe Americans, and usually they are also given to athletes. Maybe you can play volleyball or something. And I want to say something that I don't know if I mentioned it, that if you do any form of sport, right, please and please make sure you highlight it on your resume and make sure you highlight it in your cover letter, right? Because they like people that can do sport. If you can do CPR, make sure you put it on your resume as well. They want people that can do CPR in case the emergency needs arises. So those are some of the things that you want to make sure that you touch. Now I have a bonus for you guys. I created some programs that I feel are very friendly and also that have scholarship opportunities. I don't know if Dr. Jimmy can send this to you guys or something. So most of these programs, this is my school, this is school I went to, and 75% of 80% of people, 85% of people in this school have a scholarship or guide assistantship. So that's a good school to look out for. International State University, So out of the 14 of us that were guide assistants, 12 of us were from Africa. So it's a very diverse and international friendly school. So you might want to look at some of these schools. Now we take questions and comments. Thank you, guys.
Oh, thank you so very much, Dr. Aguda. Thank you so very much. As you were speaking, I was like, should I apply for another master's? Should I apply for a master's in sports science? As I think I was telling somebody on hindsight now that I mean, looking at how my own trajectory has
Yeah,
gone, and particularly if you want to stay in academia in the sports science, sports medicine field, the American route might just be a very, very good pathway. I mean, in terms
right.
of funding, etc. So I really do appreciate this. And just before I start taking questions, I really want to encourage those that are here. I mean, some doctors, some people here. I mean, even if you're not a doctor, some of you don't want to even do clinicals for whatsoever reason. You don't want to do clinicals. You're thinking of maybe I can do some things in sports, research, management, and all that. I mean, in America, there is also sufficient prospect for you. I'm really going to encourage you to, you know, uh, latch on this opportunity. And I mean, hopefully, that scholarship can come for your master's and for your PhD, hopefully. So I'm going to be asking the questions now. I'm going to be asking people to speak. I mean, feel free if you want to speak, let me know. And if you want to put it on the chat box. So, Kolapo, um, you can speak now, Kolapo.
Thank you so much, Dr. Aguda.
Thank you.
I want to ask, aside from the ACSM and NASM, because those things are quite expensive now, are there any other substitutes that we can use for that? Or maybe any cheaper associations that we can join?
Well, I believe there are so many organizations you can join. You can join there are some athletic organizations you can join. Now, if you go to each of those schools, one thing you can do is you will see a link for organizations that can be joined on their sports science website. Right? That's one thing that I advise that you do. Now you can also join FIFA.org. FIFA is okay. If you join FIFA, the FIFA Medical Network, it also counts. And
Okay.
I can't remember. I think the FIFA Medical Network is free. I'm not sure.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Yes, sir. It is, sir. It is.
Right. So if you join FIFA Medical Network, that should be on your name on your resume. That counts a lot. Um,
Okay.
so you can join I'm not sure if IOC is free. The IOC FIFA Medical Network is definitely free. You can join some that are local, like I said. Red Cross Society, you can join. You can join any sport organization in Lagos, in Abuja, in Nigeria. It counts because they know that you are international, right? So even if you join the National Association of Nigerian Sports Writer, that's something. If you join Nigerian Association of Nigerian Journalists Association, that also counts for something. So that's how it goes.
Yeah, just to add to this, and thank
Thank
you,
you, sir.
Kolapo. Uh,
Yes,
for
sir.
for those that are interested, there is a Nigerian Association of Sports Medicine, Nigerian Sports Medicine Association. Yeah, there is one. And for those interested here, I mean, just to add some more flesh to your CV, can you please let me know and I can signpost you appropriately? The Nigerian Association of Sport Medicine, they recently had a new executive forward thinking, and I'm not part of the executives anyways, but I know people in the executives. So again, that can actually, in fact, be quite weighty on your CV, that you're a member of the Nigerian Association of Sports Medicine. All right, thank you so very much. Miracle.
Yeah, Chief, good afternoon. Good evening, Chief, rather. Thank you for the wonderful expose. Like, you have showed us a lot of stuff that we did not know about, basically. But my question is, I've heard about this a lot, that when you're applying, that you should not apply just in way, like in your area of like specialization, like you should like spread your tentacles. So now let's say example, now you not get in another area. How will you now cross back to your area of specialization? So how do you go about that? That's my
That's a very good question. Thank you for that question. And as you know, sometimes some of these things we've seen them in real life. Now, one thing that I hope you guys can develop is the ability to be able to adapt. Now, this is what I mean. When you are applying, obviously you have what you want to do in the back of your mind. But please and please don't just put yourself in a box. You can get sports science, exercise science, whatever. Now, if you get one program to answer your question, you can easily transfer to another program in the United States. I'm going to give you an example. When I came in 2017, my first school was Indiana University of Pennsylvania, right? That was my first school. And they offered me exercise physiology. I spent one semester there, but I didn't like what the program, I didn't like the program in terms of what I wanted. I wanted a sports and athletic program. So I applied to another school, East Tennessee State University. I got my admission. In the US, transferring between universities or between programs is as easy as ABC. So when I got my admission, I sent an email to the Department of International Education that I want to transfer. And they just say, yeah, that's fine. So all they needed to do was to create a new immigration document, a new I-20, F1, whatever for me. And then they just sent it to my other school. And then that was it. So the whole process of transfer is for you to get admission, contact your international. In fact, you don't even need to contact the department that you are. The people you need to talk to is your international Department of International Education or the Department of Guide Education. Once you contact them, they will just tell you the document that they need from you, maybe your I-20, your passport or whatever, and then they will create a new, and then they will sign you out. Once they sign you out, you will now inform your school, and then your school will now create a new document for you. That's it. That's it, as easy as it is. So I went from exercise physiology to sports science and coach education. You can go from exercise science to sports science. You can go from exercise physiology to sports science or to strength and conditioning. And if you want to go to another school, there is also the possibility of you transferring your credit from your previous school. So let's say you were supposed to use first semester in your schools now. You did one semester. That's a lot, right? And then you want to transfer if you transfer your credit, that means you might not need to spend another first semester in your new school. Just need to spend 3 semesters, especially if their courses align together, and most times they do align together. So they will tell you when you're going to your new school, you will just tell them that you've been in but make sure you get an admission first before all this process. Make sure you get an admission. You don't need to tell anybody all those stories. Once you get your admission, just tell them you've been in informal school and you would love to transfer your credits. They will not say, yeah, Americans don't have problem. They will just tell you to tell your school. Your school will just process the whole process and they will transfer your credit. So it will be as if in your new school that you have spent one semester already, and then you can continue from there. That's how to do it.
Thank you so very much. So for those that would want to, somebody's asking a question and want to join the Nigerian Association of Sports Medicine, can you please reach out to Miracle? Can you are you fine putting your number there so that they can reach out to you and you can collect a list or something of people that want to join, then I can signpost them appropriately. Is that fine?
No problem, Chief. I'll put my WhatsApp number up now.
Yeah. So put your WhatsApp. So for those on this platform you want to join, kindly please reach out to Miracle. Okay, somebody is asking. Okay, I don't know if you've got any other questions. So please put your questions on the chat box. Okay, so all right. So Dr. Aguda, I have a question for those interested in sports science. And I think you've touched a bit about people looking at the curriculum itself, looking at the models, what are the things they'll be learning. Uh, do these universities that you've highlighted, do they also give some hands-on experience as well, as part of the sports science program? I know your own sports science program, you had the opportunity to work with athletes. Okay, so do all those
Right.
programs, do they have these opportunities as well?
Yeah, most of the program I put here, most if not all, have the opportunity. And the reason they do is because remember that most of them are university affiliated programs. And
Okay.
most of the universities have teams in the NCAA or the NAIA. So those teams are usually coached by us, by the sports scientists, by the strength and conditioner, by the sport exercise physiologists, by whoever. So yes, most of them do have. However, the track or the modality is, of course, is different, right? Some will put you with an NAIA team, some will put you with an NCAA team, some will put you with both, or you mix it up, right? Most of them, they will rotate you through different sports. That's what I like about the American system. You go from me, I went from soccer to tennis, right? And usually they will put you in a sport that you've highlighted your interest in. Now, when you get into the department, from the best of my knowledge, they will usually give you a form to fill. That form will showcase your skill, your strength, and your weaknesses. Now, they will usually tell you to highlight two sports that are your preference. So when you submit, I submitted soccer and tennis, and that's the two sports they gave me because they don't want you to do something that you're not interested in, and that's what I love about it. So they will tell you to choose two sports that you want, maybe swimming and tennis, maybe basketball and soccer, maybe cricket. There's so many sports in America, and then when you write down those two sports, they will rotate you through those
Mm.
sports. And usually, again, once I notice again is that they will rotate you through both male and female. So your first semester might be soccer male, your second semester might be tennis female. Then the next semester they will make it up again like that, so that you can have experience of different sports and different genders. Because some of these sports programs are gender specific. The training you design sometimes for male for female might be different. Because for example, females are more prone to some kind of injury, let's say cruciate injury or something. So the training you design for them might be more targeted towards some of those specificities. So yes, most of them have those programs.
Thank you so very much. So somebody's asking here, in the University of Ibadan, Nigeria, we have it as human kinetics in the Faculty of Education and not sports science. Is this going to pose a barrier or difficulty when applying for an opportunity? In the University of Ibadan, Nigeria, we have it as, okay, yeah, I think it's the same question.
No, that is not going to pose a barrier. That's very okay. Most of the schools that actually offer sports science, that's what some of them are in the Department of Kinesiology and Recreation. If you see my own, it was Department of Kinesiology and Recreation, and my faculty was actually under education. Right? My department was under kinesiology and recreation. My faculty was education. So yeah, you are good to go with. You should just carry one of those buzzwords. Anybody that hear human kinetics knows that you are talking about movement. Kinetics is movement science. So that is totally fine.
Oh, good. Thank you so very much. Olamide, I hope that has answered your question. Uh, so another question I want to ask is the fact that when does the admission? I know in the US, I know you guys have fall, or I don't know how you guys do it. So
Yeah.
at what point do people put in? Should people be looking forward to apply?
Very good. Now, most of the applications should be tailored towards the fall season because most schools and most programs start in the fall, obviously. And when I say fall, let me assume fall is August admission, right? Um, Fall is August, September. Winter is December, January. Now, summer is June, July. Most master degree program offer fall and winter admission. They don't really do summer admission. For summer, if you see anybody doing summer, that is usually a PhD program because PhD is usually all around the year. So, if you want to apply, if you want to apply for summer, which is August, right? But this is summer already. People that are coming now, most of them are coming to the US now. If you want to apply for August, it is expected that your application should have started around, April, right? Because if you apply around April, most of them will open their portal by April for the next application. If you apply by April, you get your admission. Usually, the admission doesn't take time. By maybe you get admission by June latest, right? Because the whole process of getting your service, your immigration document, the whole process of getting a visa date, they know that those process takes time. So you want to give yourself that cushion, So I would be applying by April. If I'm targeting August, April is a good time for the application. For winter, which is January now, sorry, I take that back. It is January is actually spring, not winter. For January admission, winter is usually November, December. That's a different thing. That in America system is so fragmented somehow. So for winter admission, which is January, you want to start your application by August, September, right? You want to start the application. Spring admission starts usually when four classes already start, if that makes it easier for you. So as you're starting four classes in September, in August, by that same August, you should be in fact, you can start your application by July for spring. Okay, because the reason is that when they finish school in December, when they finish the first semester in December, there's usually a very short period between December and January, right? Usually the school have only 3 weeks break. So you don't have a lot of time to process those things. For the fall, you have a lot of time because school will finish by May. And then from May, they don't resume again in August. So even if you start your application by May or June, no problem. But for spring, you have to start very, very early on time. So just to recap, most of the program in the US actually offer fall, but some programs offer spring admission, right? My first school gave me some fall and I deferred to spring. And then my second school, I started in fall. Now, also remember that sometimes when you get admission, these are specific stuff, but I think it is important in the context of because I believe most of us are Nigerian. Now, if you have an admission in June, July, and you're unable to go because of visa issue, because processing, which happens to a lot of people, you can defer those admission. Now, for a program that does only fall admission, that's going to be a little bit complicated because that means that you cannot come in January. So you have to wait till the next August. Some program will find a way to make you be able to come in January and find a way to work around it. So best thing you can do is to always communicate with them if you're unable to arrive or to come in that's your schedule time, and then they will find a solution for you. Either you start in January or worst case scenario, you start in the following year. So that's how you go about it.
Oh, okay, thanks so very much. So for those that wants to apply, please start thinking of the state. I think there's another question on there. Can you say it?
Yeah, this might be a completely different question, but after completing residency in maybe orthopedic surgery, what steps can I take to join precision medical committees such as those for the Olympics? So to be honest, you don't even need my oga orthopedic surgeon. You don't even need to you don't even need to finish residency before you can join this organization. To be honest with you, all you have to do to join, go on their website. When you go on their website, you will see the link to join. Usually, they will ask you a question. You put your data there, not your data. Sorry, you put maybe your name and your qualification, and then probably pay a certain fee as applicable, and you're able to join. So, and of course, if you finish orthopedic surgery residency, they'll probably be the one begging you to join them because at that time you're already an attending. So you even have more advantage. So just go on their website and apply and join. And another thing you can do is that you can attend their conference. You can attend some of these FIVA, IOC conference. You can attend some of these events like this parade that is going on. So that's another thing that you can do.
Thank you.
That's an interesting question.
Yeah. So this person asking this question, I mean, because it does appear as asking for, I don't know whether he's asking from the perspective of you want to be a member, all right, of some sporting organizations. So, for example, we have different sporting organizations. So, American College of Sports Medicine, European College of Sports Medicine, and every other thing. So, it's pretty straightforward. I mean, just go on the website, apply for membership. But there's another one, there's another layer of it when you want to become a member of the committee. You understand, of some of these Olympics or FIFA committee. So I don't know if it's in that perspective you're looking at it. So if you want to become a member of, let's say, because now, for example, the International Olympic Committee have a medical and scientific committee, which is headed by a particular person, all right, and there are members in that committee. Okay. FIFA also have a medical and science committee, which is headed by somebody, all right, I have members there. Now, to be a part of those committees, now, this one is quite a very tricky one. I mean, it's important you have all your degrees, but oftentimes you would have to go, it would have to be your own local committee. So, for example, the Nigerian Olympic Committee that will say, okay, maybe when there's an opening, maybe when there's a committee opening, okay, so your own local, or I mean, Olympic committee can say, okay, oh, we want to, bring this person forward. This person have been doing some great stuffs, in sports in Nigeria, and you would have to be there. You would have to be there. So okay, that is how it should go. But sometimes in Nigeria, it might not go there because we have. I know I'm recording. I think I probably want to say this outside of recording. So just let me just.
All of other top, if I go to Paris, meet a lot of other top guy, and then I can get who says I can get tomorrow at the IOC. But if the role you are looking for is a role that is affiliated to your country, which I believe the medical committee is,
Yeah.
then you will need to be in line with the sports organization in the country. I hope that's it.
Thank you. Yeah, that's the way it is. Well, and I mean, as I always say that, uh, and I'm sure this might be a little digression. I mean, 2 years ago, I did apply for the Commonwealth Games, and I was there as a doctor. I mean, it was, I don't need any affiliation for that. That's on my CV. You get that on my CV. Uh, Look for international games. You understand? Look for games in Africa. Next year is what they call it now, World Cup. You get, and oftentimes they would usually open like a website, and they might just be opportunity just come and volunteer. Your volunteer might just be maybe you're the one carrying something or carrying something. It's still going to help your CV. It might not be, as Dr. Aguda said, you have to be very flexible. It might not be like maybe you being a doctor, but it might just be you're the one leading them. I mean, if you watch the Olympics, you see quite a number of volunteers. And some volunteers that will carry, that will just lead the athletes into a particular room. Some volunteers will lead them out. All right. Some volunteers, will do a lot of things. So those things add a lot of things to your CV. So for example, myself, just to tell you that you have to volunteer. Each time I have time, I don't have much of the time now, but during my master's, I would usually go because I was staying in Manchester. I mean, I was my master's in Manchester. And Manchester Football Club, they announced that for those that want to become flag bearers, if you want to watch an EPL game, there are these people that will actually wave the flag, and those that would be actually flapping the flags in the middle. I don't know if you've seen that before an EPL game. And they'll say, okay, we need flag bearers. Come and be a flag bearer, and we're going to give you a free ticket to watch a match. And in my head, I was like, what am I doing? You mean just to come and wave flag? Come and wave flag. And then on my masters, I will go do flag. And I will get a ticket to actually watch, these games. All right. I mean, I'll get a ticket to watch the games. And for me, it's already on my CV. You understand? So if tomorrow now, maybe I want to apply to Manchester City, don't you think that would give my CV a lot of weight?
Yeah.
It will, because okay, oh, we have someone that have been working, uh that's someone that has been watching, that have been with us for a while. So that again, just find things around you. And as we begin to round up, please, for those that we are mentoring already, and you want to, uh, you know, you're considering this, the advantage you're going to get is that we can help you with your CVs, encourage you, statement of purpose, And I'm also going to throw this open here for those that have joined today as well. You can also benefit. Understand? You can benefit from, okay, if you're interested, we can also help you with your CV, with your statement of purpose, etc. All right. For those that are also on this WIPMED program, the other thing you're going to benefit is, like I was talking about, you volunteering, you working in sports. For those on the WIPMED program, we already have a structure already. So we have a clinical attachment to a sport clinic, and we also have opportunities for our mentees to also work with a grassroots football club in Lagos. So again, those are the things that can help you boost your CV. So please, if you're interested, for those that are not part of the program, please reach out to me and we can talk about how we can help you put in your application. I don't have any other question before I allow Dr. Aguda to actually go. Okay. So it's been very, very, very incisive. It's been very, very incisive. And yeah, so somebody said there's even an All-African Games, an All-African University Games as well. So these opportunities
Yeah.
to also volunteer, I think is happening in Lasut and the University of Lagos. They would need doctors, they would need volunteers, for things like that. So please avail yourself the opportunity. And for those that I think that, oh, I think I want to go into research at some point or the other. These are also, going for a master's is also a good one. And I believe that in America, there's more likelihood that you can get a PhD from where you did your master's. I don't, Dr. Aguda, what do you
Yes.
think?
Yes. I was offered a PhD in my program, though I did not.
Hmm.
I
Yeah.
did not.
Yeah.
Most of the time they will offer you a PhD, and most PhD in America is fully funded. Most nobody pay for PhD in the US. So that's advantage.
Oh,
So
think you can see these opportunities are massive. So and for the doctors here, don't limit yourself. If you think you're still like, oh, do I want to do clinicals, this, you're still not sure. Instead of, you trying to do another kind of a master's, you understand, consider things like this. And even at the end of the day, if you think, okay, I think I better want to do clinicals, this is going to add up to it, at the end of the day. So these are opportunities that I want you to avail yourself of. So Dr. Aguda, thank you so very much. We've had
thank you so
two,
much.
Dr.
two,
Jimmy, for the
yes.
nurses, don't call.
Yeah. So Dr. Aguda, I asked you about a nurse as well. So it was like,
Okay.
yes, maybe you should please help me attend to that nursing thing. So I've got a nurse here, Abimbola, and she's interested. She wants to also be in sports, be a sports scientist at one point or the other. So what do you think,
Yeah.
and what do you want to advise?
Absolutely. It's basically the same thing. It's basically the same thing. Like I said, we have some nurses that also apply for sports science. Just follow the same pathway, tailor your resume. A nurse is usually very, very also welcome. Let them know you're a nurse. That's fine. Instead of saying that I'm the team doctor, you can say you're the team trainer or the team post-op caregiver, whatever name you want to give it, it doesn't really matter. So make sure that you put it in your resume that you've been attending to people in sports. If you're a nurse, for example, you are probably going to at one point see an orthopedic patient, right?
Mm,
Or maybe somebody that has some laceration or something, and you help in the management. That's part of sports science. Sports science is not only when you run. Injury prevention is a critical part of sports science as well. So I like the things you'll be doing in injury prevention. If you tell people to improve their health by exercising, when you give talk to exercise, when you give talk in the maternity center, at the antenatal, when you give talk on exercising, on fitness, that is sports science. I like those things in your resume as well. Now, in fact, as a nurse, you even have more advantage from a funding point of view. I will tell you that because most nursing, most nurses that come to the US, they usually get funding. I remember back then, Department of Nursing had the highest number of graduate assistants. So you can be in sports science as a nurse and then still apply for guide assistantship with
Mm,
bioinformatics
mm,
in that school, because now they can use your experience to teach their students how to do
that's
vital
true.
signs,
Mm,
how to
that's
do
true.
heart rates, how to do whatever, So yes, just
Wow.
apply the same template and use it.
Mm, mm, mm. Tami Bola, I'm sure you are
Thank you,
quite
Dr.
happy now.
Aguda.
Thank you.
Because
Welcome.
she's been on my neck and all of
Yeah.
that. And just on a final note, be flexible. If you are a doctor, you can teach in another department. I mean, that is the thing. You have opportunities. If you're a physiotherapist, you can teach in another department. Whatever you're doing, look for that department that you can teach on. You get so the funding is always there, but looking
And,
at
and, and let me, sorry,
yeah,
I'm cutting Dr. Jimmy. Let
no,
me,
go ahead.
one thing that I noticed so well is that if you are in the health sector, nurses, doctors, physiotherapists, whatever, you automatically have advantage. They already see you as, somebody that is smart. That is the advantage. They just automatically. In fact, except you mess it up yourself, it's already assumed that for you to do nursing, medicine, in fact, when I came to the US doing sports science, I made sure I didn't use to tell people I'm a doctor, because they just assume I know everything, so they just believe you can adapt, because as a nurse, as a doctor, you are dealing with life, you can adapt to anything, so that's the big 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 advantage that comes with it.
Mm. Oh, I mean, thanks so very much, Dr. Aguda. Please, I want us to appreciate Dr. Aguda with your emojis. I mean, just to thank you. I know some might not be able to talk wherever you are, but thank you so very much. This is Dr. Aguda has not collected a dime from us. So I think I mean, if he had said he needed a dime from us, anyways, I mean, what do I want to do? But he's done this totally free, and we really do appreciate you.
Ah,
And yeah, thank you. You can see all the emojis and people thanking you on the platform. Guys, we want sports scientists in the US. US has a lot of sports. They are prospects, and I think that's something that should encourage you, because some of you, like, after the masters, will like get a job. I mean, there are opportunities, even if you're not working with the team, there are gym centers that can also employ sports scientists as well, strength and conditioning coaches as well. Do you get what I'm trying to say? So there are opportunities not just in the research, but also to work with various things. For example, the US, I mean, these soccer in the US is opening up now. I mean, it's quite open. So opportunities are there as well. So please, let's not, this opportunity, let it not go to waste. For all our scholars, this is, if you're interested, you have a goal already. You understand? Would help you with your statement of purpose, with your CV, would help you get those experiences. And for those that are not also on the WIPMED program, for those that are on this platform, I mean, please get in touch with that same number that's on the chat, and we can also guide when it comes to writing your SOP and your CV. So once again, thank you everybody, and
I put the links of some of the schools there
it's
just
cool.
for
Okay.
what it is worth, so anybody can copy paste it and peruse it. I
Mm,
think okay. Thank you.
okay. All right. Thank you so very much, Aguda, and good night, everyone.
Thank you so much,
All
guys.
right.
Bye bye.
Thank you. All right.